It is that time of the season that's very exciting. Others are coming in, others are going out. History tells us that if you are number 15 in the PSL, chances of you staying up are good.
That speaks nice words for Richards Bay.
Nice words, oh, but if you are number 2 in the NFD, the Motsepe Foundation Championship, there's also a good chance. But number 3, there's very few who have come from number 3 in the NFD and have gone up.
But who?
But the one that's there now knows how to get it done.
That's the thing. That's why I said, who's there?
Yeah.
I know Baroka are very good at last day stuff. If you remember Mill Park, they did Magic to Lufuno. Looking at the head-to-head, man, this chaos that's there, how do you see?
Hoobies. One, I don't understand how Tuks even found themselves in this chaos. These people are supposed to have wrapped up the league and gone. But the problem now is the fact that they've played in the playoffs and
they've never been promoted.
Yeah, they've never been promoted from the playoffs. So they constantly want to find themselves in this position, able disadvantage.
And all these 3 teams have been in the PSL before, in the Premiership.
Yeah, they've been in the Premiership. All of them, all these 3 teams.
There's only one team that has played playoff and they became successful, and that is Baroka.
Hey, man. No, man, so Richards Bay have got a very good chance. Mavuzana's got a very good chance of staying away is because he's the one that's playing the first game against University of Pretoria.
Yeah, he's
head-to-head.
Head-to-head, I'm sharp, but he has a very good chance in a sense that if you look at the 5 previous editions of the playoffs, 4 times you've had teams from the Premiership, DSTV Premiership rather, going back home. So
going back home.
So key advantage for those teams to try and salvage them. But you look at the fact that head-to-head, it's not so kosher. So experience a playoff, they don't have.
Okay. So Richards Bay don't have that experience. University of Pretoria have got that experience. What are you saying, Cox? No, Lufuno, Cox wants this Pretoria thing to be the Pretoria League.
And Limpopo.
And Baroka knows how to win from 3rd position. Braden has been at the top.
Braden what it's even to study playoff, to study NFT, Utashap.
So according to Ena, Braden will be the surprise of this.
Braden.
I mean, when you look at it and you start with the first game, you then say University of Pretoria against Richards Bay. Head-to-head. 2022, University of Pretoria 1-0 against Richards Bay. 2021, 2-1 Richards Bay against University of Pretoria. In 21 again, Richards Bay 3, University of Pretoria 2. Richards Bay 1. Hey man, Richards Bay seems to have their number.
No. Richards Bay seems to have their number. Mara, his biggest worry, Richards Bay, Coach Villagaz, his biggest worry, history should tell him, worry about Tuks. Your focus should be on Tuks.
So their second game is going to be...
Yeah, and I also hear Talufuno saying, Coach Tendence, Coach Tendence, Hana experience here next year playoff. Hana experience, Hana next. The only thing I'm care on Coach Tendence is the fact that Baroka, he win. But Hana experience, so...
Martin doesn't have experience here DSTV Premiership. He's been there. He has coached in the
playoff is a different animal, Chief.
I understand that, but I mean, as you said, these two teams that are all playing here, including Richards Bay, these are teams that have already played in the DSTV Premiership. They understand the intensity of this and the importance of getting into that space. So it's going to be very, very, very tough. As I said, I've looked, even if you look at the team across, they have experienced players that have played in the DSTV Premiership as well. They're a very balanced team. They're not teams that you just, Richards Bay, just because history, it's going to be very, very tough.
So with that said, teams that have gone through the playoffs, they then tend to battle when they get to the DSTV Premiership and they find themselves here again. Is it the structure or is it just that the gap is too big? Cox?
1, it's the timing. 2, it's the structure. It tells you that the players they're not needed. 2, I'm saying the timing based on the fact that you playing in the playoffs does not give you enough time to, one, procure players.
You can't procure until you are guaranteed.
Yeah, you can't have a proper preseason, so you are disadvantaged already. I mean, let's look at the last 5 editions.
Bunce is playing, but his mind is already in Stellis.
Jadi Graves,
yeah.
We don't even know about the goalkeeper. Their goalkeeper, you don't know, because we heard he might be going anywhere, somewhere. Where Richards Bay, we don't know. So it's very difficult.
Can you play comfortable?
We don't know.
So the teams that are in the playoffs, the disadvantage, and it then poses the question: are they necessary the playoffs now? I mean, if you want to have a promotional playoff, have teams that want to be promoted. Don't have teams that they are begging you to let them go. Maro and over force, it's like you bring me back.
So Richards Bay,
they're out. You know, they won their playoffs and then they were out. So you look at those teams and you ask yourself, Mara, do we really?
You look at Spurs and you then go, hey, they did well, and then as quickly as they entered there.
Honestly, Mpo, if you look at it, you win the DSTV Premiership, you did not get enough points to keep you there. For me, as Cox said, really, you should go.
Even Royal AM didn't bother honoring an invite.
What stage?
No. so if you don't honor the invite, you can still stay, and you still be good to stay.
Yeah.
But with that said, from a planning perspective, and we'll start with the coaches. You're looking at the 3 coaches. Who looks geared up for this? Cox.
From a planning perspective, and I think from a form perspective, I would say Coach Vilakazi. He looks a bit more geared up in going into this. You look at the quality of players that he has, the Sanele Bans that you were talking about. Yes, he might be thinking about Grapes, but you can't take away the fact that he's a nominee for midfield of the season. You can't take away the fact that he has created more chances than any player in the league. That tells you a lot. So he needs to have somebody that's going to bury those chances. I mean, Balotelli could have supported him. He should have more goals with all those chances.
Are the technocrats of Pretoria, Lufuno, man?
Yeah, look, as I said, Pretoria University is a very tough team. They took Sundowns. They're a very tough Sundowns.
But that was a once-off game.
Playoffs is like that. You plan for those few games. You plan accordingly. Playoffs is not a league. It's just few games that you plan, you go for it, you get your promotion. It's a very difficult. You must understand that we are talking about Richards Bay because we are all privileged to see Richards Bay week in and week out on TV. We are not privileged to see Pretoria University. We are not privileged to see Baroka.
So, Lufuno, a direct question to you,
kind of a team
because teams that come from NFD tend to do magic to Chiefs. You remember in the Nedbank Cup? No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I just want to know. I just want to know. Hey, Emma Bill. You remember University of Pretoria? You had Jimmy Dow had a whistle.
Yeah.
You remember Baroka last day? You were winning the league. You remember this season that just ended? Richards Bay did things.
Yeah.
Your preference? Who would you have?
Give tiki-taka football in the DSTV Premiership.
Who plays tiki-taka in this lot?
10-10.
So Nyaka Limpopo's final.
Yeah.
Cox, but Pretoria say they are looking up to Coach Rulani. And then you look at Richards Bay. Who do you prefer to be able to say?
Realistically, if you look at, I think, a team that has the backing, the structure, as well as maybe the know-how, I'd say University of Pretoria. You look at the institution as a whole, and you look at, because Coach Motaung mentioned the fact that Batlobek said the high performance center now to try and win this. And I'm like, why was I before?
Maracox, do we need another Team C? Go DSTV. Rally B,
oh, so about to defeat a team. All I'm asking for is that let's have a team that we know it will have the structure and the backing and maybe the financial muscle to some extent to retain. Because Ishuku retain a status.
Go to Limpopo. There's a team called Baroka. It's got a village. But Baroka, they've got a village. They take football seriously.
Okay, Lufun. All I will say to the teams that are in the NFD playoffs, all the best. There's 6 points waiting for you south of Joburg. Having said all that, we can guarantee you, based on this season's performance, that there's something good south of Joburg for you.